Good to see all of you here today. I tell you, it was a great win for our team and our entire program. And I don't know that a lot of folks may not realize how big a win that was, the magnitude of that game. I thought that our guys held their composure extremely well throughout the course of the game. We had a chance there early to extend our lead and couldn't do it. And a lot of that credit goes to Jacksonville State. They have a mighty fine team. I've always said they got probably one of the best teams, best players every year that we've played them. Late in the game, we lost all the momentum, but we were able to find a way there in the fourth quarter to go into overtime and then find a way to convert 2 fourth-down conversions in a 2-point play to come out with a big victory on the road against an outstanding football team, an outstanding football program. It's amazing that we hadn't beaten those guys in 9 years, and we go on the road and do it the way that we accomplished the goal this weekend. So as a football team, we took a step in the right direction. We finally won some of the close ones that have plagued us over the years. I mean, I can't remember how many times I've been in here and say, golly, boy, we played good, a play here or there. We win, and we made the plays all the way from the end of the first half when we forced the fumble. Brandon Wicks forced the fumble and held them out of the end zone to the 2-point conversion by Maikhail Miller and Jeremy Harness at the end. Complete team victory. All three phases played well. A lot of room for improvement. As coaches, we're never satisfied. We can sit there and find something wrong with even some of the best wins. So we got a lot of work to do, but it sure is a lot easier doing it after a win like we had on Saturday.
I haven't heard a lot of talk yet about the offensive line, but to put up those rushing numbers, they had to do a wonderful job.
They did, and they're very sore. They were sore yesterday when they came in. That's the most run blocking they've probably done combined in 3 years. But we felt like going into the ball game that if we were going to see a lot of three-man front and they were going to put those good defensive backs out there in man coverage, that we were going to have to run the football. And we were patient doing it. Thought Coach Stewart did a good job of calling the game. And we knew we had to run Maikhail a lot more if we were going to have a chance to win. And the game plan worked, but more importantly, they executed, and the guys up front did a great job blocking all evening long.
Were the extra procedure penalties, was that just one of those things, or was it something you were doing running to try to get an early jump?
No, that was very disappointing that we had that. I mean, that's the first thing that we'll discuss today in areas of improvement. We had too many non-hustling penalties. And that's very disappointing. So that's an area that we have to improve in procedural-wise in all three phases, but especially there on the offensive side of the ball. We had way too many false starts.
Injury-wise, how did you guys come out here?
Well, we're pretty beat up. We got a bunch of guys that will probably not be able to practice early in the week, and we'll have to wait and see how the week unfolds. But we got some guys that aren't hurt or aren't out for a while. Io, he's out probably a couple more weeks. And hopefully we get Chavez back, don't know. And then we just got a bunch of guys that we're just going to have to wait and see how it unfolds throughout the course of the week.
Can you explain the thinking on the 2-point conversion? And was that decision made at the beginning of overtime? Did you know right away you were going to do that if you got the chance?
No, when they scored in 2 plays, I knew I was going to do it. We were tired. We had played a lot of snaps on defense, and it really showed that we played well on defense. I mean, we really did. You look back and I'll answer the question here just a second, Neil. But Will. But you look back and we pretty much had them stoned until they faked that punt on us, and we had a misalignment, and that gave them a lot of momentum. But they had a good drive to start third quarter. And then after that, we forced a lot of turnovers, but we were beat down. I mean, we played 99 snaps or 98 snaps, and 2 plays they go and score. So we were pretty much done. And then on the flip side of it, second half we did not move the ball very well at all. We had 1 scoring drive the entire second half. Had 2 chances on their side of the field to put the game away late, and came out with 0 points. So once they scored quick, I knew if we went down and scored, we were going to go for 2, and got a 50-50 chance, and this time it paid off. And I've done that before too, Will, and I've been booed off the field and thought that they were had to get a police escort back to my house. So it's worked both ways, but this time it worked for the good.
How different is it having a quarterback that can run? I mean, normally you got a quarterback, Casey, we just stay in the pocket and just sling it all over. But now you got Maikhail, got kind of an extra option. You had 130 plus rushing yards.
Yeah, well, he runs the ball really well. The big thing with him, he's just been very inconsistent on his passing, and I think that's a misnomer with Casey, because if you look back, Casey always ran for 60, 70 yards pretty much just about every game if you take away his sacks. He always had a good day rushing. They were just sneaky runs and whatnot. But Maikhail, that's what he does the best. He runs the football. He makes things happen with his feet. So we got to really cater to that. But one thing he's got to get better at, he's very inconsistent in the passing game. And he's got to improve in that area if we want to continue to be successful as a football team.
Do you feel like beating Jacksonville State has maybe put more pressure on your football team now to go out and be a good opponent and show the league how good you guys can be?
I could care less what anybody thinks, Rick. I learned that a long time ago. We're going to do the best we can each week, and I would hope not. I would hope that our guys will just be excited about playing. I mean, that's the main thing about being a football player, just be excited about playing. And at the end of the season, you look back and see, what happened. So we'll take it 1 week at a time like we always do. And, we just started. We're 3-2, so we can't. There's not a whole lot of pressure on us. If you get down to where you're 10-1 and all that, maybe the focus sharpens up a little bit as you go. But the way I like to coach is that every week's a big week, and I learned this at Valdosta State when we had won all those championships down there. That every week you're playing for the championship, and if you do that, when maybe one day this season, late in the year, we will be playing for the championship. Who knows? And but you prepared like that all year, so it's no different. And so this week we'll be playing for the championship again. We've done it 5 times this year, and we're 3-2. And hopefully this week we can go 4-2.
Your team does seem to be playing with a lot of confidence.
Yeah, they are a confident group, and they've earned that. I mean, they've come from behind twice and against competition at our level, and converted 4th downs and game-winning plays, and made big stops when they needed one. Forced turnovers, things of that nature, and they work hard. They prepared hard, and that's part of it. I mean, you got to believe in yourself. I read a quote the other day. Babe Ruth said, if you want to swing for the fences, you can't fear striking out. And our guys have kind of bought into that type of mentality a little bit, and hopefully it'll continue. But right now, we're excited where we're at. Early on going into the season, I thought that we needed to be 3-2 coming out of September. And here we are. So now we get into October, and hopefully this week we can be 1-0.
Address your special teams play. I know 3 weeks ago you weren't happy with it, but pretty good, I thought, at Bowling Green. And last week, Stephen Mix, I thought, was incredible with those 2 punts. And then the coverage, kick and punt, were both really good.
Yeah, we played well, and we played well all season. Other than that, the game against Missouri State, we just didn't kick it well, or had a couple miscues catching. Thought Mix kicked the ball well. We still got to be more consistent in the field goal deal. We just got to make them all. I mean, when you go out there, you got to take advantage of points, especially when you're playing a team that's probably got you outmanned a little bit at certain spots. But our kickoff coverage has been outstanding, and this week that's going to be very imperative because they have a great return man at Tennessee Tech. So I've been real pleased with that. We got a bunch of guys that are playing hard on those teams, to me, I think that's been the difference this year than in other years, is that we have a lot of pride on those teams and guys want to get down there and make plays.
Everyone said at the beginning of the season that as far as evaluating your team, you couldn't pay too much attention to the 1A games or the Campbellsville game. With the Missouri State and Jacksonville State victory, what do you think that says about your team? How would you evaluate your team based on those 2 games?
A lot of room for improvement. I really do. We're making some silly mistakes at crucial times. Fortunately, we've overcome those. I mean, and that's a positive that we're able to overcome those things. I think we must get better at getting off the field on defense. We're not giving up the big play, but we're just playing way too many snaps over on that side of the ball. And we got to get off the field quicker. And then offensively, we just got to do a better job of being more consistent and getting in rhythm more consistently. And if I've said consistent since the beginning of camp to now, I'd be a millionaire if you gave me $1 for every time I've said it. That's one thing that we lack right now offensively, and we improve in those two areas. I feel good about where we're headed, and we're getting better each week. We haven't arrived, but we sure are a lot further ahead than where we used to be at this point of juncture. So again, we're excited. That's one thing we forget sometimes is this game is supposed to be fun, and I try to take that approach with the guys, and during the week, that's when I'm more nervous right now until Friday about 5 o'clock than I will be on Saturday. That's when all the work's done. That's when the coaching's done during the week, and then Saturday, you're just like a regular old fan. You sit over there, and watch because all the work's already been done. And the other night I was just really pleased that our guys just held their composure, probably better than some of the coaches did, and they just really believed they were going to win that game, and that says a lot for them.
Coach, you guys are looking to go 2-0 in the conference. Last time that happened, I did some research. I couldn't find it, but it's been at least 13 years since you guys started 2-0 in the conference. Just talk about how big that would be.
Well, of course, that'd be big. That's our goal. We want to win this week, and if that set some type of milestone from way back when, then so be it. Again, each game in this league's very tough. You got to be ready to play. We've battled here for 3 seasons, and we've been very close in a lot of games that could have gone our way and didn't. And fortunately, we've had a couple go our way. So we want to keep that momentum. Tennessee Tech's a great football team, very well coached. Always a tough battle. What they do offensively gives you trouble, and defensively, they bring a lot of different pressures, and same old each week. And our goal, like I said, is we'll be 1-0 this week, and that's the way we approach it each and every week of the season.
Have you seen the film of their Indiana State game? And if so, what did they do against Indiana State? They lost the lead, they came back and won at the end.
I don't know what you're asking.
Just kind of how did they end up winning it? They went out to a big lead, then they blew it, and then came back and won it. What did you see that kind of worked for them to help them come back and win it?
Well, I think one thing they do is they do a lot of misdirection on offense. They like to run a lot of jet sweeps and things of that nature, and they do a really good job. Watson Brown's probably one of the sharpest offensive minds in college football. I've always thought that, and then defensively they really heated them up some, got some good pressures, and made some good stops and intercepted one at the end of the game to seal the deal. So they're just a solid football team, just like everybody we play. They're very solid. They got a great return man on the punt returns and the kickoff returns. In fact, he ran one back against us last season, so we got to be good in that area. And they're good in special team. I think their punter's second in the nation in punting, or he's way up there. So we got a tough task.
I know their coach, Coach Brown, talks about lacking in the running game, hoping to get Bud Golden eligible. And I noticed he was eligible for that game, scored 2 touchdowns, but got hurt in that game. What kind of element does he bring to them if he's able to go?
Well, he's a good player, and they consider him their go-to guy. So anytime you don't have that guy, you have to kind of find a way to move the football. So hopefully he's not hurt bad, but hopefully he can't play on Saturday against us, and he has a good season the rest of the year. No, he is a good player. They got a new quarterback Lamb graduated last season, so they're like us, breaking a new guy in. Again, mean, they're well coached, good football team, and it's going to be a tough ball game for us.
Oh, you said on offense they're very deceptive. What about defense? What do they do?
Well, they mix up their coverages a good bit, and with us having a quarterback that's been inconsistent throwing the football, that's always a concern headed into the ball game. So we got to do a good job of putting him in positions to complete passes, help him out along the way, and then they will pressure you. They bring it from both sides up the middle. And we're going to have to do a good job at making sure we recognize our hot throws and things of that nature. And, when you got a new quarterback, and again, as young as ours is, and especially in our system, that's always something that keeps you up late at night during the week.
What about injuries on your side? Anything to report?
Well, I mean, Io is out. He's going to be out a couple more weeks. And then other than that, we got a bunch of guys that are just bruised and sore and beat up, and I think we'll have a few guys that won't be at practice tomorrow, but hopefully we can get on Wednesday and Thursday. It's kind of too early to call if we'll have anybody other than Io out this week.
Let's talk about the crazy overtime finish, having to convert on 4th downs and then the play. Let's talk about those big plays, having to make one after another in overtime.
Well, they were big, and we knew they would be there from things we did during the game. We kind of set ourselves up to be in a good position in overtime to do and actually have open plays for us.
I know the game plan changed a little bit. There was a lot more running than normal, but according to the coaches, they felt that was the best way to win, and you guys were up to the task. I know you ran it well, but so did Brady and Barrett.
Right. They said they had good things running the ball last year, and they felt like with them having a 5-man box all the time that it'd be a good game to call a lot of runs and just pass when we needed to.
And finally, I know this is your first year, but to those seniors that have never beaten Jacksonville State, I'm sure they showed what a big deal it was to them. That was a huge hurdle.
Oh, yeah. It meant a lot to them. I know a bunch of people came after the game and gave me a hug and told me great job, and they've been trying to do that since they've been here, so that was a big deal.
How much did the game against Missouri State play into maybe y'all's confidence going into this game, especially late with those heroics?
It just gave us confidence to finish, never give up when it does look bad. I know both games I think we had big 4th down conversions to keep the drive alive, or we won the game on 4th down in Missouri State, but it helped us out a whole lot going into Jacksonville State.
Was there ever any doubt that you guys wouldn't go for 2 once you got that touchdown in overtime?
Yeah, I had no idea it was coming. I thought we were going to play for second overtime, but they had had a couple of trick plays that they liked, and we didn't even run that to win the game, but essentially that's what we were trying to do at the end.
What were your thoughts when you found out you guys were going to go for 2?
I was ready for it. Like I said, we thought that we had some plays that would work in that situation, and we did.
Are you the kind of guy naturally that would play it safe, or the kind of guy that would make that gamble?
Whatever coach wants to do, I'll do it. It's fine with me.
I know the defense gave up a lot of yards, but they also forced all the turnovers, a lot of big ones. Talk about what a boost that was for you.
All right, they did a great job with turnovers in the second half. I know offense came out a little slow second half, and just them getting turnovers and keeping us in the game and keeping them in the game really helped us in the stretch. They had some turnovers within the 50-yard line, and they had some good returns off turnovers that helped us a lot.
Did you notice Jacksonville State make adjustments in the second half on what they were doing running-wise?
Oh, they did. They started blitzing a lot more to a couple of our empty packages, the stuff they didn't do to pass teams or the first half, and it helped them out a little bit, but we kind of settled it down with tempo.
How much fun has it been for you to play this offense with all the weapons that you have around you?
It's been fun. You really don't have to do anything yourself. When it's tough, you can look to and just about any guy you want to and call any number you want. So it's been fun.
Talk about Jeremy in particular, the overtime. I know you found him on that 4th and 10 play. Didn't find him right there on the goal line.
Yeah, he's been a great guy for us. he catches the ball every time it comes to him, and he knows every assignment we give him, so he's been good for us.
Have you always been the type of quarterback just when things happen with your feet in high school?
I would say so. My senior year started that a lot more, but I say it with my feet, yeah.
What has changed about this year that has made you really go to that to be kind of your calling card right now?
Well, I know I had a lot of success when I was in high school with it. I hadn't really got to show my feet in a while, so I mean, it's kind of been here, so this is the first time it's really been active.
So are Jamal and Dwayne teaching you anything, or what are you picking up from those guys?
You know, just how we help out each other with the run package. You know, it's a lot of read and stuff, and just stuff carrying out my fake will help them get a little extra yard, and them carrying out theirs do too.
What are your thoughts going into Saturday now that you have you started the conference season with a win? What's the mindset now going on to the next game?
Just keep getting better and preparing better every week. I know we had there at the beginning of the year, we had some bad practices during the week, and that kind of showed Saturday. But last week, I think everybody found out that if you prepare well, that you will do well on Saturday.
So you guys had a good week of preparation last week?
As someone who's just kind of coming into the program now, were you shocked by the reaction when you guys beat Jacksonville State? Did you know it was a big game to everybody, or was that something that surprised you?
I mean, being first OVC game is kind of a big game, but the one that kind of surprised me was the Missouri State game. You know, everybody was excited about that and the win, and just that they hadn't been able to finish the past couple of years, and that was a big hump for everybody.
Do you think it'll be hard to duplicate last week's practice with an emotional win and go into Saturday?
I think we can do better. You know, we had a couple of downs, but you can always do better in preparation.
It's obviously easier to prepare after a win, right?
Right, yeah, everybody's happy, running around, excited.